we don't worry about it. We know it's all good.
Today, I'm flying to Harare, Zimbabwe. But to get there, we are going via Lusaka, Zambia. Emirates does a bunch of multi-sector trips, which I've mentioned to you before. But as cabin crew, the difference with this one is we don't get off in Lusaka, but transit through. Meaning we are just dropping off and picking up passengers before flying on to our final destination.
But we both shoot the breeze. You got me down to a T.
Even though it's not a super busy route, it is still quite a tough duty. With an hour and a half on the ground in Lusaka, it brings our total duty time to 11.5 hours. And keep in mind, this doesn't include the half-hour drive into the city centre where the crew hotel is.
But we don't worry about it. We know it's all good. We just keep on vibing, dancing to the moon. We don't worry about it. We know it's all fine. We just keep this party till we see the
So this is my first time to Zimbabwe, and with only 24 hours here, I'm not sure I'll be able to fully experience everything about this cool country, but even just from the drive in, I am so excited to see what this city is all about.
Take our time like we're on a slow burn. Throw our feelings out in the open air. I'm feeling like we could be a thing.
I will be honest, normally on my layovers, I like to do my own thing, but I have heard some pretty fun stuff the crew like to do in Harare. And seeing as Emirates has been flying here since 2012, over the years the crew have tried all the tours, which means we already knew our options so we could figure out on the flight over who wants to do what. Because we are doing it through the hotel, so we kinda need to organize this tonight before we go to bed so they can be ready for us in the morning.
We don't worry about it. We know it's all fine. We just keep this party till we see the sun. Yeah, we don't worry about it. We don't worry about it.
So with the tour today and actually needing to get some sleep before our overnight flight home tonight, going to the gym first thing is pretty much my only chance to get some exercise in. I personally prefer to do my exercise in the morning or just whenever I start my day, because I find if I tell myself I'll do an evening or afternoon session, that just never happens. Is anyone else with me on the morning exercise for that exact same reason? I think I've mentioned this before, but as crew, you get discounts on layovers at the hotels and especially on the buffet breakfast. Even though I do pack a lot of my own food, for $10 US, I think this setup for breakfast is totally worth it. I will say it can be a little risky doing a hotel breakfast being vegan, cause sadly there might not be many options that make it worth the price tag at some hotels, even with a discount. But I knew with this much here, there would be something for me, and it's a pretty nice view to start off my morning. Now, there's not too much I need to take with me today, but something that is super important, and I always check this before leaving the hotel, is that my phone data is on. And if you're wondering how I have data anywhere and everywhere I travel to, this is where Saily comes in. Saily is a super simple eSIM app that gives you access to mobile data in over 200 destinations, including in Zimbabwe. You get all the perks of having a local SIM without the crazy price tag because you're a tourist, or the risk of getting scammed by those dodgy SIM card stands at the airport. And the best part, Saily's data plans are way more affordable than paying for roaming through your phone provider, plus no crazy surprise bills when you get home. Now, if you've never used an eSIM before, this is going to change your travel life. With Saily, you can have everything set up before you even leave home. So you've got internet from the moment you get to your destination. Honestly, I've been using eSIMs for years now, and Saily is changing the again, because instead of downloading a brand new eSIM every single time you need data, with Saily you only need to install their eSIM once. Just download their app, choose your destination, install your eSIM, and then you can buy whatever data plan you need whenever and wherever you need it. Oh, and this is wild, but Saily also blocks ad content, which can save you up to 28% of your data usage. So not only is Saily saving you money from the get-go, but also as you use them. Their app works on both iPhone and Android, and if your device doesn't support eSIMs, they'll even give you a full refund. With 24/7 support, you'll know Saily will have your back. So what are you waiting for? Try Saily for yourself and travel with peace of mind. Plus, you'll even get 15% off if you use my code AmandaK at checkout. Just download the Saily app, head to saily.com/AmandaK, or just scan this QR code. But now that you know how I'm staying connected when I'm traveling, let's get back and see what tour I decided to do for my first time in Zimbabwe. Now, being in Africa, I think it only makes sense to do a safari. And although I'm not sure it'll be able to truly compare to my safari experience in Kenya, we are doing something a little bit different by horseback riding through the Mukuvisi Woodlands. The tour costs $20 each and also gives us access to the whole park, but we have to pay in cash. Luckily, the hotel did tell us this when we booked the tour, just to make sure we have US with us. It's actually very common as crew to take US dollars on layovers because of this exact reason.
Put all your stuff away and check out for the day.
Now, I haven't ridden a horse since I was probably 13 or something, but in saying that, I am feeling pretty confident in my riding abilities. They do only have 3 horses today, and as there's 4 of us crew, we're just gonna split up into 2 groups. We each have a guide though, so while we wait for the other girls to come back, our guy's going to take us around, tell us more about the woodlands, and show us what else is in this special spot so close to Harare city.
There's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave.
So the Mukuvisi Woodlands actually offers way more than just the horseback safari. There are dedicated trails all over the reserve for walking, running, and even biking. They've got a picnic area, this crocodile enclosure, which actually reminds me a lot of home to be honest, and tons of spots for their school holiday camps and education programs. Why this is important to know is because the Mukuvisi Woodlands is actually run entirely by a non-profit group of community members relying on donations, these school visits, and tourism to keep this whole conservation area alive.
We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt, though the sun has almost...
Now this is their main viewing platform that overlooks the Waterhole. And even though it's pretty hot out there, so I can't see any animals for the life of me, I think it's so sweet they have all these boards spread around with facts and pictures of African animals so you can still learn even if you can't see any. Our guide was trying to point out the other girls on the horses, but my eyesight is not good enough for that. However, this camera might help. I'll tell you something funny though, I actually bought this before joining Emirates or meeting Zach, who, if you didn't know, is a professional photographer. So he has given me this zoom style lens to have some fun with, and I really don't know much if anything about cameras, but I do know for safaris, these lenses are pretty damn good. I swear it was like a bell rang, because as soon as I got my camera out, all the zebras started coming to the Waterhole, so now's my chance to give this bad boy a go.
There's music in the streets, we're moving to the beat. There's something in the air that makes the city come alive. A breeze that makes you high. We'll be up till late tonight.
Now, I am a sucker for a gift shop, but I also hardly ever buy anything. I just love to look at everything. Don't get me wrong, I would love to be able to buy this stuff, but I just don't have anywhere to put it. Is anyone else the same? I don't know, maybe when I have my forever home, I'll have a dedicated space for cool travel souvenirs, but for now, I'm just going to admire how much time, passion, and love people put into creating such cool things and show it to you guys.
There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire.
Now it's time to really experience the Mukuvisi Woodlands. The Woodlands is actually named after the Mukuvisi River, which is one of the main rivers that flow through Harare and right by the conservation area. The whole area is over 260 hectares or 650 acres big, and this area is actually one of the last patches of indigenous forest left within Harare. Being only 5 kilometers away from the city center, it's the closest and most accessible space where local communities, especially kids, can connect with the African wildlife and nature. And in a place growing as fast as Harare with well over 1.5 million people, natural green space like this are under serious threat from the rapid urban development. The local communities here had actually been fighting to protect this land since 1910, with the conservation area only being established in 1980. Now, this community group have not only been able to protect Zimbabwe's heritage, but also create a vital recreational and educational space for both locals and tourists like me, with their goal to be able to educate the next generation on how they can protect nature, preserve native animals, and understand why it matters. I think the Irwins would be so proud. So just by being here, I'm able to help keep this little wildlife pocket alive. Also, can I just say, compared to being in a safari car, this feels way more personal. All the animals seem so unbothered by the horses or us, and it's kind of wild to think this calm and untouched place is so close to the hecticness of Harare City. It feels like I'm getting a glimpse of what Harare might have looked like or felt like before the modern world took over. And the fact we can just ride up to zebras, best $20 I've ever spent.
To me, I wanna fall in love.
Now, most of the animals here are brought in from other game reserves. Basically, the animals are key to being able to make sure this unique ecosystem is protected and supports the native trees and plants' natural environment. The reserve purposely only has animals that coexist peacefully, making it a very safe space for all the animals and people. This does mean that we won't be seeing any lions today, but honestly, I'm more excited about seeing one of my all-time favorite African animals, giraffes.
Must do it, but you know I'm missing you. You're the best I ever had. I wanna fall in love. I wanna be someone you're thinking of.
By the way, for any of you thinking I am nailing this horse riding thing, they did give us a quick rundown on how to handle the reins. So if you haven't ridden a horse before, don't worry, they do show you what you need to know. But I reckon these horses would know the routes even if you didn't lead them.
Just give me a chance. Get better, better, better. Hold on to me. I wanna fall in love. I wanna be someone you're thinking of.
Now, when I travel, I love going to supermarkets. Luckily, this stop is actually included as part of our tour and worked out perfectly for us to get something to eat for lunch. Seeing as I did have the hotel breakfast this morning though, I will be having my own food back at the hotel. But this berry sorbet was calling my name. I will say it was really weirdly sticky, like almost stringy and very sweet. I have never really had anything like it, to be honest. Personally, I prefer the melt in your mouth kind of sorbet, but it's sweet, so of course, it's still pretty damn good.
Have you ever walked the high pass, watched the northern lights flash, took a photograph on a Paris street? Have you ever climbed a tall tree, asked someone for mercy, gave something away that wasn't free? I don't wanna get a vision of you stuck in my head, because I know that
It's moments like this where I'm so glad I packed my own food. Having to try and find something for dinner or waiting for room service would have dug into my already pretty short sleep, because we need to be down in the hotel lobby around 4:40 p.m. for our 6:50 p.m. departure out of Harare. So from the time I got back from the tour till needing to do my hair and makeup now, I managed to get roughly 3 hours sleep. And I want to break a few things down for you. If I don't eat now, I probably won't eat until after the first service is completed up in the air, which would be around 9:30 or even 10 p.m. So that's pretty important. And now, if you're thinking maybe on layovers like this, doing tours might not be the best idea and you should just prioritize rest, the tours actually help tire you out, because we got in at a pretty good time last night, had a normal overnight sleep, but then are expected to have our night sleep again all before 4 p.m. the next day. So now do you also see why there would have been no time to exercise apart from this morning? Honestly, these are just small snippets of things that you have to try and balance to feel somewhat alive, healthy, or normal when working as a flight attendant. As much as this job has some incredible perks and brings you to countries like Zimbabwe, I know some of you can understand just how tough this job really is. Thinking long term, and at least for me health-wise, this job just doesn't feel sustainable. Even on trips like this where you have 2 flights, because they're less than 9.5 hours each, you don't actually get any dedicated rest. So landing back into Dubai at 7 a.m. the next day with no sleep really makes me look forward to when I don't have to be working on flights and I can just be excited about the destination I'm going to and all the incredible things I get to do there. As always though, I appreciate all the love and support I get on this channel. It means the absolute world to me, so feel free to like, subscribe, even comment, and I cannot wait to show you where I'm flying to next.